Oh my god. Welcome to Vinyl Verdict. I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Plouffe.
And this week it's Plouffe's pick.
Yeah. So I chose Royal Blood, self-titled. I remember when these guys came out, and I thought it sounded pretty cool. I had tickets to go see them in concert when they were touring on the cheap, so I paid like $30, $40 tops to see them at some bar, and I was too hungover, and I had a flight to catch the next day, so I didn't go. I regret that because now they tend
That's
to play...
his Budapest story.
Yeah, they tend to play bigger venues, and they don't always come to Canada anymore. But yeah, debuted in 2014, and I just kind of fell in love with it. Royal Blood is Mike Kerr on bass and vocals, and Ben Thatcher on drums. So yeah, it's a drummer and a bassist.
Is he related to Steve Kerr?
I don't know.
Coach of the Golden State Warriors?
I don't know. Maybe he is.
Just a bass player
They're
and
English.
a drummer?
Yeah.
Wow, it's just Death from Above with a slightly different tone.
It's funny, though. I don't like Death from Above.
But they make do with just a bass player and a drummer.
100%. And, I think that a lot of bands do, and they do it well. The way Mike differentiates it a little bit is he often plays his bass like a guitar.
Yes.
So you get a lot of, cool, squealy solos.
Yeah, I
and
didn't
whatnot.
realize this was a bass.
It's heavily...
Oh, really? Yeah, see, he
It
tricks
is
you.
heavily processed.
Yes.
And he's also playing with several different effects pedals.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. There's a really... I watched a really funny short where it's like... Hey Mike, you're late. And he's like, what? And they're like, that's a bass, grab your guitar. He's like, nah. He just plugs it in, he's all hungover, and he just turns the wrong effects on and stuff, and then the guy plays one of their famous tunes sloppily. It's pretty fun.
Sure.
Yeah, I know.
Also, I just want to call out, you missed seeing them live 2 months ago. They were here in November.
What? Where though?
Orpheum?
Really?
Oh, sorry, Queen Elizabeth Theater.
Yeah. See, I don't really want...
Still small.
QET is still small.
I saw Modest Mouse there.
I saw Joe Satriani there.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like Joe Satriani.
Yeah, he's pretty
great.
famous guitarist. I really like QET, but this is the kind of band that I want to go see in a bar. I want to go into the crowd and mosh and stuff.
You can go down to the aisle and mosh because it's all
Not
seating.
not the same.
I like quiet, reserved.
Yeah,
crowd.
and on Modest Mouse, I thought it was weird because I was on the floor and I was sick. But everyone was sitting the whole time. I was all right.
Yeah,
I stood a couple times. I felt weird, so I sat back down.
right. Yeah, it's
For a rock
I like
concert.
QET. It is good, but I don't know, not for something like this. It's kind of weird. Orpheum made sense. I'm surprised they didn't play at the Orpheum, but whatever. That's too bad. I would have liked to go. But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of came out 2014, 2015. I was moving back home to go pick mushrooms for a summer, and this was we had, I think, one CD in the car, and that was this one. So I've heard this album quite a few times. I really like it. They have some cool music videos that go with a lot of the songs. And yeah, I find that it's got... it's weirdly a similar vibe to AM, but way earlier in the night. AM to me is the end of the night. So it's really dark and rocky and stormy. I don't know. Doesn't really make sense, but
I understand what you're saying.
yeah.
It has a vibe that evokes the time of day.
Oh,
Yeah.
it has a vibe that it sticks to through the entire album.
Yes, it
Totally.
sure does.
Yeah.
Heavily sticks.
100%. Yeah.
I was only vaguely aware of who they were, and when I found out that it turns out that they're a duo like the Black Keys, the White Stripes, Death from Above, and so on, I was intrigued,
Yeah.
and I thought the album was okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah, their first one's decent. I also own their next two. When Did We Get So Dark, I think, is the second album, and then Typhoons is the third one. The second one's good. Typhoons, not as much. I think the first one's probably the best. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I'd never listened to them before. At least I don't think I have. But I've heard you talk about them before. I know it's someone you've talked about wanting to cover for a while and that you enjoy their music. I thought it was good. They have a familiar sound that kind of toes the line of derivative.
Sure.
It's very 2010s rock.
Oh, 100%, yes.
Yes.
And it's a
Yeah.
good thing.
And-
I like the crunchy guitar, bass, I guess, with high production value.
Yep.
Yes.
But I mean, it's Queens of the Stone Age, it's
Yeah.
Mother
Yes.
Mother,
Yeah.
it's
Yes.
Jack White, it's
He
White
does a
Stripes,
very good
it's Muse at
yeah.
some point.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so of the time.
Yep.
And I listened to the album. I think I wrote notes on my third or fourth listen. So by that time, I was like,
A little done.
oh, okay, like
Yeah.
here's this song again, here's
Yeah.
this line again, and maybe the lack of variety, at least kind of, is the fact that it's a bass.
Totally.
So like you don't get
Yes.
as wide of a sound variance, which I will give a bit of forgiveness for the fact that I did not enjoy it as much as I think I could have if it had more varying sound. Because I definitely still liked it. It's just that I write. It needs a couple different guitar effects to spice things up.
Yeah.
But he's doing all he can with
Yeah.
that bass.
Yeah.
It sticks to a formula aggressively.
Yeah. Yeah, I fully agree.
I think it's good though. I respect what they're doing with what they have. But had I not known that it's just two guys and it's just a bass guitar, I may have been less forgiving
Sure.
of its formula. But you're right, it is very derivative, or not derivative,
It's almost derivative.
it's
Almost.
exemplary of mid 2010s rock. It's very of that time.
It's a
period.
best of 2010s rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like the White Stripes?
If you like one song in particular.
Yeah.
Do you like the way Queens of the Stone Age albums used to sound?
Yeah, because like around this time would have been like Clockwork came out.
Yeah.
I think
And there's a lot of similar sounds to that.
I think this is even before Like Clockwork. I think Like Clockwork was 2016, I want to say. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it came out in 2013, so a year before.
Oh, wow.
And
I
that
was
makes
wrong.
sense because it's like when Queens of the Stone Age started upping their production quality.
Yeah.
Which is again of that time.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to the Black Keys album Brothers?
No,
Oh, that's a great album.
never listened to Black Keys.
Really at all? They're pretty good.
They're really good.
They were
They're
at
from
the,
Akron,
it's the
Ohio.
same thing. They were at this heyday in that time period when I was like, I don't want any like country pop rock albums
they're,
anymore.
They're not.
The songs that were popular were like "Gold on the
Oh.
Ceiling" feels like a bar country song.
Oh, sure.
country rock song.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want that.
Yeah.
I
that-
only
it
remember
was so commercial.
Gold on the
I was like,
Ceiling.
no.
Yeah. Man, I forgot. Okay,
Gold
you're
on the
100%.
Ceiling.
Gold on the Ceiling is absolutely a song that would be played in like every Western bar at some point.
Gold
And we
on
know
throughout
how I
the
feel about
night.
gang vocals.
When
It's
it came
really
out.
hit or miss, and it's
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah, I fully agree. I still wouldn't call them like that. That's kind of when a certain culture adopts something else that like wasn't necessarily made for them. But yes, I thought absolutely that song is like for
Gold
that
on the
scene.
Ceiling is in so many sports games too.
It really is. It was so popular.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
For
I forgot about that. Anyway.
for this album, I think I found it first on like a YouTube video. I'm pretty sure I watched like "Come On Over" or one of the other tracks as the music video, and I was like really into it. And so it was, for me, it was like that one sound, and I was like, oh, I really like this. And then I listened to more and bought the album, and I agree, the rest of it is a lot like that one sound. And so when I listen to them now, I definitely cherry pick songs and just listen to like 4 or 5 songs. This isn't usually an album that I listen to front to back anymore, partly because I've heard it so many times, but also because I fully agree with you guys. It's I think it's good and I like it, and I'm happy to own all 3 of their albums. But
I thought it could be a 6-song EP.
totally. Yeah, I fully agree.
Yeah, I think I'm more critical of it because I do enjoy it. Like I feel like I have more to say negative because I'm listening closer when I enjoy
Sure.
something. Versus like Jimi Hendrix, I rated pretty low, but I didn't have a whole lot to say because I didn't enjoy it, so I didn't like listen closely.
Yeah.
Or like so many times. Versus this, yeah, I listened to like on headphones. I listened to while I was driving around a couple times, and like I've gone through the album a few times, and now
Yeah.
I have like a better idea because I did enjoy it of what I did not enjoy about it, which is the fact that this sound is too similar throughout it. Where I was like,
Yeah.
it's funny, a few times I went back and I listened, I would be like, this sounds like I've heard it before. And I'd go back and listen to the beginnings of every other song to see if I'd heard it before and be like, I guess not. It just
It's
is
similar.
similar enough.
Same, but different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy the vibe of it. Like
Yeah.
like I said, I do enjoy that era. And it's of the time. It's not like they're
totally.
late to it and stealing it. It's like, no, this just was a part of it.
They're in the midst of it. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Let's give it another one.
One
Let's give it
last-
one last listen.
listen. I think it's a really cool, like, dark, heavy intro that sets the stage for the rest of the album. I don't have any other notes for Out of the Black. That is it. I think it just fully sets the stage for what you're about to listen to for the next, like, 40 minutes or so.
My first note is, oh, this is a rock album. Because I didn't know what I was getting into. I didn't bother.
I thought it was gonna be like brand new.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not.
I don't like brand new.
This song, I don't like the initial start, like the dun. Oh,
really?
Once the full band comes in, they're doing it. I liked it.
Oh,
it
yeah.
sounds like a WWE walk-in song.
I can see that.
Like,
I could see that.
It is very like
The
commercialized.
Undertaker.
It's obviously not commercialized because this is her first album. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they didn't know what they were doing, or like they weren't purposely trying to do that. Some of it also, I guess now I'm listening to this, it's like kind of like Wolf Mother vibes. It's like this is all of
almost.
that time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Man, I forgot about Wolf Mother. Before this.
I think maybe it's just his
like,
vocals. It kind of sounds like that, yelling.
Yeah.
Which I do enjoy. I think it's a good start to the album. I like the drums are really good. The chorus is really catchy.
Yeah.
And the ending instrumental with the switch up in the guitar and drum beats before hitting that familiar chorus again,
Yeah.
I think is really satisfying. The lyrics are catchy enough. They're nothing to write home about, but they're enough that you kind of want to sing along.
Yeah.
I thought the
do
riff
enjoy it.
was catchy enough.
Yeah.
The riff, he does a lot with what he has on this one. This is when I did a little gazoogling and found out that it is a bass guitar, and I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then and then as the album goes on, it becomes less interesting. It just becomes a gimmick.
He's only got those 4 strings, man.
Yeah, he's doing all he can.
He's beating those 4 strings to death. Yes.
Yeah, I actually really like the opening riff, but I definitely do think it's like it really kind of all crashes in once the drums come in. That's a really cool, strong point of it. Then we get to Come On Over. I just love the chorus, and I like the guitar lick that goes along with it. I think Mike's got a decent voice, and I don't know. I really like the bass on this track. I think he changes it up really nicely for both the solos and the choruses.
I don't remember the chorus at all. That's why.
So come on over.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, this is so basic and milquetoast. This is the one that feels the most rock song of 2010s,
Yeah.
but in a negative way. I'm like, this could be any band at any level of popularity. It could be anything. It could be a video game soundtrack from this era. Like, it really just is nothing. But it's still fine.
The riff is good, and the drums thus far have been excellent. The drummer really beats those drums to death.
It's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how hard he goes. Kind of reminds me of Japanther a little bit.
But just like Bell, I didn't think anything about it was particularly noteworthy.
Sure.
It was fine. It's listenable. Okay, so here's the thing. Even the songs I didn't enjoy were listenable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it's a solid album.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's like a 9 out of 10 or anything like that, but it is a solid, perfectly adequate album.
For this season, I think this might be the Plouffe pick that I enjoyed the most.
Wow. So far.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Wait, was Smash Mouth's album technically a Plouffe pick?
Yeah, technically. We all
I
owned
mean,
it.
technically, you picked it.
I picked it.
I didn't want to pick it because I want to talk Astro Lounge.
Someday, maybe.
Next season.
A couple
I'll
years from
verdict,
now. We
yeah.
got to wait for the 25th anniversary to drop.
Yeah, no, that was a fine song. Figuring it out, though, or figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like this one either.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was boring.
Oh, I love the like downward spiral with the drums kind of crashing in the background a bit before the first minute.
Oh, sure. The beginning is good. Yeah, yeah.
And
This is one that I went back and I listened to the first song again. I'm like, is this this first song again? It's not.
It is not. Yeah, you're right. It's weird.
I
It's
like
deja
the
vu.
end jam out, though.
Yes.
I just think this is missing like a killer hook. Like, it just needs like...
I don't disagree with that. I do. I like how they like cut the song in half, kind of. But I agree that it should come for the second half. It should like come back with a better hook. Yeah, I don't disagree. This one's got a pretty cool music video. It's like some girl in a mall barefoot, covered in blood, and everyone's running away from her. And they do this really cool thing where like you can see stuff based on the blue or red filter that they apply.
Oh.
But yeah.
Yeah, the band does a really good job at sounding bigger than just two guys.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. Then we get You Can Be So Cruel.
Okay, this is just Supermassive Black Hole by Muse.
Oh, dude, I thought a different thing. I said it sounded like a good impression Or like an okay impression of Queens of the Stone Age.
This is Supermassive Black Hole for sure. A supermassive black hole. Boom, 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 boom.
I honest to God, I thought this was him trying to do a Queens of the Stone Age impression.
So funny.
This one is not my favorite. I like his voice a lot when he adds the extra energy at the end of the verses, but it's one of the ones that I'd probably cut if I had to cut this album down, actually.
Yeah, I put good chorus, but another unspectacular song.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Blood Hands.
Don't like the title. It doesn't make sense to me. Blood Hands.
Got blood on my hands. I think it should be blood on my hands or something instead of just blood hands. Is a little weird. Or bloody hands.
Yeah.
I agree that the title's kind of weird.
It's an excellent impression of the White Stripes.
Kind of.
I don't listen to enough White Stripes to have
Yeah.
any input here.
I'm not crazy about them.
I like the pacing switch up. I also enjoy the repeated riff around 2 minutes and 20 seconds that leads in the final chorus to end the song. It's not bad.
I wrote down, I hate that repeated riff.
Damn.
I mostly just like the chorus, especially the drums kind of kicking it off. I really dig the bass riff, and I like the softer outro for this one and how they cut everything but the vocals on just the last few words.
There's a fellow who comments on just about every one of our episodes, and we appreciate that. But he one time he said he really enjoyed the discourse we have, even if we don't enjoy the song.
Oh, yeah.
The album, and this is that discourse.
Oh yeah, we very frequently don't like the same thing, or two of us will like something and one really won't.
Well, two of us didn't like something, but we didn't like it in different ways.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was playing last week, is that after we're done recording, we are mad at each other. We go home silence. We don't talk to each other for a week because these two have bad taste in music. No, I'm kidding.
Jeez. I have to see these clowns every day at work. Sometimes they bother me multiple times a day.
I have definitely gone home and second guessed certain things, and then I'll look up other reviews to justify my choices.
100%. I've been still listening to some of that Hail Mary Mallon.
Oh, yeah,
Wales
sure.
really is good.
Wales is amazing.
Money,
Wales,
money, money,
Wales
money, money,
and Jonathan are like top tier songs of all time.
Yeah, there's a few times. That's what we do at the end of the year, the re-ranking. Because
Sure.
like, you're like, okay, actually,
Sure.
maybe it's not that bad. Or maybe this is way worse if it's a Plouffe pick.
You never know. That's I'm the wild card.
Little Monster.
Yeah, this one's pretty good. I actually really like the lyrics. They're kind of dark and cheesy.
It's the beginning of side 2.
Plouffe is checking, yeah.
Yeah, side B,
Fact
Little
check.
Monster.
Yeah,
Jamie
catchy
was
little
right.
riff.
Yep.
Another solid chorus. I feel like it feels like the last songs, but it stands out a little bit more as a good headbanging song.
Yeah,
It's
the,
fun.
the whole package is just kind of tight. Super crunchy bass, snappy drums, a bit of raspy singing. I really like the solo just after about 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the vocalizing at the end is decent. I like how they just kind of end the song, too.
Yeah. It has a good heavy riff around a minute.
Say less.
Those are my only thoughts.
You have any thoughts about Loose Change?
Oh, God. Okay. All right. I have a small story. When I was in college, I had a roommate that really loved movies like Loose Change and Zeitgeist. And he was also permanently stoned.
Okay. Sounds like a roommate in college.
Sounds like Plouffe.
But anyway, that's the only thing that yeah, right? That's the only thing that reminded me about Loose Change. The song is all right. The gimmick is very much wearing off at this point.
Mm-hmm.
See, I actually really like Loose Change. I
sucks.
think it's got a
It's
super
fine.
groovy bass line with like tight drums, cool imagery in the lyrics. Doesn't overstay its welcome at just over 2.5 minutes, and then it's got a nice sudden outro with that kind of weird like change being dropped sound effect.
Yeah, I don't mind this song. I don't think it's super spectacular, but it's fine. And I also like the change dropping sounds at the end of the song.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa.
that was neat.
It startled me. I thought there was like change actually falling somewhere because I was wearing headphones. I was like, ah.
It's not the worst. I was listening to some song while in traffic today, and I think it was Currents. I think it was a song on Currents, and
yeah.
there was like
Impala.
honking and stuff on it, and I was getting so confused. I was like, "Who's honking right now?"
Oh, music should not have sirens in it.
100%.
Oh,
Yes.
so
Like
annoying.
I can't listen to the sound of the police in my car because I think the whoop whoop is coming to get me.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's the sound of the police.
And then we get Careless.
My favorite song on the album. I
Really?
actually actively enjoyed this
It's
song,
good.
and I put it in playlists.
It's okay.
Oh, the
It's
chorus
another
is so
White
good.
Stripes song.
Sure, I don't mind.
I don't know. I've never been crazy about the White Stripes. And I there's definitely similarities, but I don't know if this is like a White Stripes song.
It
The vocals remind me of a little bit of it, but
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
It evokes a theme that makes me think of the White Stripes.
Sure.
I actually really enjoy the White Stripes. I don't own any
Yeah.
of their albums, but I enjoy them.
I like how the title is Careless, but he says care or cared less in the song, like 2 words. Kind
Yeah,
of.
it's weird.
yeah, the title's Careless.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the chorus is great. The bridge is great. It's very catchy. My only complaint is the main riff sounds a little similar to Little Monsters' main riff. It's just with higher notes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll listen to the song again, though. It's definitely on a few playlists. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I like the kind of piercing bass notes followed by that really chunky riff. It's a little repetitive. That's kind of my only problem with it. But other than that, yeah, I like it. It's easily one of my favorites, too.
And just be clear, I have criticized much of this album, but it is completely listenable. It is unobjectionable.
Is that your final verdict? We still got 2 more songs to go, my friend. Up
Like-
next is 10 Ton Skeleton.
Yeah, that's what they call Plouffe Spawn. That's my only note.
Wow.
Boom.
I really like 10 Ton Skeleton. This one always kind of catches my attention when I've got music in the background. I think it's got a really cool bass riff and deep drums. Chorus is pretty catchy. I like the bridge or the refrain after 2 minutes.
Yeah, that is actually pretty good.
I think it's just, a nice little break from an otherwise aggressive song.
I don't like the riff.
You don't like it?
No, I don't like the kind of pulsing, like, bam, 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 bam. I'm like, no, that's enough for me.
Oh, man, I love it.
It's fine. It's like some of the other songs where it's like, yeah, this is a song,
Sure.
again, of this era.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. Then Better Strangers.
Yeah. What else?
Last song?
I like this one.
It's a sad ending
all right.
to the album.
I just like the word hollow. Singing the word hollow is cool.
It's good.
It's a good word. It's like,
Yeah.
oh man, what album was it?
So,
I was just like, I just like this word repeated numerous amount of times.
yeah.
But
Peanut butter
this-
pudding surprise?
Peanut butter pudding surprise. I was thinking about that earlier today, actually. That is a reference to My Morning Jacket, Evil Urges, if you haven't seen that episode or listened to that episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a good word to sing. It's a fine enough end to the album.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's not another song that has the same beat.
Totally.
Give you guys a peanut butter pudding surprise.
Wow.
Now I gotta cut that. No, I'm just kidding.
It has a good sounding riff. That's about it.
His laptop is closed. He's like, I assume it's a fine riff.
Wow.
No, it's fine.
Crazy.
Yeah, I could read my one note for the song. The song is extremely one note.
Bad title. What does that even mean? Better strangers? Like we're better not knowing each other?
Yeah, I don't
Tacky.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they kind of named it Hollow instead.
Well, what if they call it Better Off as Strangers?
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't even know what that means, but
I don't
sure.
know. They're better off as strangers.
Oh,
Like,
off as. I think I meant office.
off as strangers.
Better office strangers.
You guys are off as strangers to me.
I really like the bit of like tambourine or something that's whatever's going
Yeah,
on.
it comes
with
up in a
the-
few songs.
Yeah.
I noticed that as well.
Yeah.
Some tasteful tambourine.
I feel like when you're a 2-man piece, you kind of need like an egg shaker or a tambourine or something.
No egg shakers.
I love
Rain
egg shaker.
sticks.
Don't take it.
That train beat. No, thank you.
You just ate train.
do you
what,
feel-
what album was that? That Didgeridoo in it? Was it the Tool album? There's like
No,
a
it
Didgeridoo.
was
I'm pretty sure
his
they're-
album, Hail Mary Malin, has didgeridoo in it.
I think it does, but I think
I don't think Tool had any didgeridoo.
I think you're right. I think it was Sailor Mary Malin.
Oh, we need
I
more
can't remember.
didgeridoo.
I'm 100% on board.
I
with
say
didgeridoo. I had one.
No, we
as a kid.
didgeridoo.
Not hard. Not easy to play.
We're all speaking at the same time. No one understood a single word. But Plouffe, do you have any final thoughts about the song, or can we talk about the album?
Give us your didgeridoos and your didgeridon'ts.
No, that's final verdict. Wait, I want to see the album first. Show me the album.
I think it's got sappy lyrics. That's my only other notes about it. So it's pretty cool. I actually really like the
Great cover.
It won an award for the album cover.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
neat.
Oh,
Um,
People thought it was innovative. I think it's fine.
She's got like space hair.
This kind of stuff was a bit more innovative like 10 years ago. Now everyone's kind of done it and it's whatever. But it's basically, I don't know, it looks like a lady or a man. I can't tell. They've got their arms up to their chest, kind of clasped together. And then they've got their hair or whatever turns into like
It's like a bird's
a
nest. too.
space scene. Yeah, it's like a tree bird's nest kind of deal. And then just their eyes are normal. The rest of it's like black, starry sky.
Even her body, like the dress is trees and
Yeah.
plants.
Yeah, it's like a forest scene. It's like, so it's when you take an outline of like a person and then you replace parts of the
Yeah, like
person
a
with like a
silhouette.
landscape. Yeah, it's like, yeah. And it's just got royal blood, like royal on each side and like a weird typeface.
But then they ruin it with a stupid back with ugly font.
You don't like the back? You don't like
No,
the font?
looks like a live, laugh, love, like kind of Western.
Oh, yeah,
font.
kind of. Yeah, like it was burnt into wood or
Yeah,
something.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I like how they got the tracks separated by sides. That's always nice. And then they've just got some like credits at the end. One thing to note is this is one of those like thicker cardstock
I like those.
Oh, that's
jackets.
nice.
Yeah, me too. I like when they're like textured like this rather than slippery.
Same with the inside jackets. I like when they're that thick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Ooh, it's got stuff on it. What's the jacket?
the jacket is just them
Is it your
jamming
morning
out,
jacket?
kind of imposed over
Oh,
each other.
that's a cool photo of them, though. I'll
It's
give them
a-
that.
It's a cool photo. And then on the back of it, we've got lyrics with the tracks, which is always appreciated. Just if, in case you were confused
And the
about.
back is like one of those things.
Yeah,
A
there-
mandala.
no, but there's like a weird texture pattern or something behind the lyrics. And then I think it's normally a paper sleeve, but I've got it in like a fancy MoFi hi-fi sleeve or whatever. And otherwise, the record is just a nice traditional black vinyl. I think it's heavy. Jamie, hold this. Tell me if it's heavier weight or not. I want to say
He's
it is.
scooching over.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jamie's flexing. It must be heavy.
Oh yeah,
Well, Plouffe, why don't you give us your vinyl verdict?
sure. Give me one. Give me a second here.
Yeah, it's at least 180 grams.
All
Right?
right, Jamie, why don't you give your vinyl
pretty
verdict?
thick. Yeah,
My
Jamie,
vinyl
you go
verdict?
first.
I don't know. It's fine. Plouffe, did you say how much you paid for it?
This was just a regular commercial release. I bought it either at launch or a couple years after the fact. I think I bought the CD in 2014 or 15, so then I must have bought this like a couple years later. So I don't know, $30, 35 maybe in store, something like that.
That's about right. I wouldn't pay that much, but if I found it used, I might pick it up. It's fine. It's a fine album. Like you can listen to it in the background and not be bothered by it. So my vinyl verdict, I probably rate it like maybe like a 7.5 out of 13, maybe like a 8. It's fine. It's not great, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to say anything here that I've not said before, but this is a weird album as though none of the songs sound exactly the same. Royal Blood sound is aggressively standard for the time. Though I sound like I didn't enjoy my time with the album, I didn't actually think it was that bad. Like I've said before, I like 2010's crunchy rock, but there needed to be more songs like Blood Hands that switch up the formula a bit to keep the album feeling like it's moving forward. I'm putting this album in the 14th spot under George Ezra's Wanted on Voyage and above Fush You Mang by Smash Mouth. This album is wildly okay. Like I would say this is the point where, again, like if I had it, yeah, cool. Sure, I would listen to it. And if I didn't own it, I wouldn't really go out to find it. Like it is just, it's good. It is fine.
It is, yes, it is aggressively okay.
Yeah, anything that's like below 17, I would say is at the point where I'm like thinking it's bad. This is right above that. It's like, it's good.
Well, as the list goes on, this is a long podcast season.
52 episodes.
That's true.
Are we
Less
releasing?
than that because we didn't go over the summer. But anyways, Plouffe, what's your vinyl verdict?
You know, I think it's a good album. I kind of agree with you guys. It's like not amazing or anything like that, but love the cover. I loved listening to some of those songs at that time of my life back in the early 2010s. I like the music videos that go along with them. I enjoyed it when it came out, and I still enjoy it today, although, you know, not quite as much, obviously. I'm going to give it like a solid 8. I still really like it, especially the tracks that I'm kind of more interested in, like, you know, Careless or Blood Hands. I think that out of all of the drum and bass duo group scene, like out of all those kind of bands, this is probably my favorite out of all of them. Drum and guitar, a little different, but I think it's unique enough. And I like the whole idea that he's playing a bass as a guitar, even if it's kind of just a shtick at the end of the day. But yeah, I don't know. Others have tried and done well, but this is who I'd pick for that category. I think that if you like this album, definitely check out the next one as well. Although, yeah, Typhoons is kind of mid, and I haven't listened to their fourth one yet. But definitely cherry pick songs. Mm-hmm. They're a kind of band that you want to like find, you know, the 3 tracks on the album that you really like, and then maybe add them to a greatest hits playlist or something like that.
Yeah, if you want a full band, listen to Nothing But Thieves. Another good band.
Sure.
Another good band. Well, next week we're doing our favorite album covers. So the actual cover of the album that we like the most. So make sure you watch on Spotify where you can actually see a video version. And I put up the album covers for whatever we're listening to so you can kind of see what we're talking about. Because, I mean, this is the episode to do it. I mean, you can Google it afterwards, but what if you're driving? Well, I guess you shouldn't watch a video if you're driving either.
Probably not.
Well, just don't listen. Well, you should listen while driving. Always listen.
I already think I know what I'm choosing too.
Oh, what do you choose?
We're listening to Eliminator again, guys.
Oh my gosh.
What do you think we're going to choose?
I'm pretty sure I'm going to choose King of the Beach by Waves. We've listened.
Not
Down the
Waves.
road.
Listen,
we already did two Aesop Rocks.
Listen.
Just choose that as an honorable mention.
Listen.
I don't want to do Waves
Listen,
again.
Linda, honey.
Look, when we covered Waves, I was very explicit when I said this first album sucks. The rest of it is good.
What was the Waves album we covered?
It was the one that's basically
It sucks.
noisy goth rock.
Oh, yeah, it was awful.
It was terrible.
Why did you make me listen to
I
it?
hate that album because it was like the worst albums we have or something like that.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah, and I fully agree.
man.
I hate that album. But King of the Beach is amazing. Look
This
up the
is
album
two
art.
in a 4-week period that we've listed that band already with Aesop Rock
Look
being
up-
earlier this week.
Look up the album art and you'll understand why I have to
I'm
pick
We're
shaking
that.
listening to another Genesis album next week. This one's longer than the last
Jamie,
one.
which one do you think? Do you have any idea of what you'll pick? You can guess because this is not something
That's
we
a
planned.
tough call, dude. There's a lot of really cool album covers in here.
Don't say too many because again, that's next week's.
I reserve the right to change my choice.
I don't
but I'll probably
want to
choose
listen
King of the
to
Beach.
another Beatles album, but Abbey Road's cover is very,
very good.
cool.
It is very good.
Do we want to listen to Abbey Road? I don't know.
Isn't
That's
that
a great
just
album.
the one of them crossing the street?
What's that?
Isn't it just the one of them crossing the street?
It's cool.
All right.
I think Revolver has a cooler cover, but that's fine.
Revolver is a cooler cover, but like I'm not as
It's best album cover.
But it's
not the-
covered.
not the
Yeah,
content.
I'm not choosing King of the Beach because I think it's the best Waves album. I'm choosing because the
I'm
cover's cool.
gonna have to go through my collection.
Yeah, I have to go through as well. I have one by the Horrors. I've never actually listened to the Horrors. I don't know what the album's called, but it has like these gooey faces all over it, and it's got Japanese writing as if there were that like paper band that goes around
neat.
those releases.
Yeah, Obi.
So that kind of comes to mind, but I don't know. I have to look through as well. There's a few that I have that are pretty unique, but that could be the answer. Plouffe is trying to convince us that this Paper Airplanes by MIA. This is just an MIA album cover.
I'm showing you.
This is 100% just a paper MIA album cover.
It's like a cat smoking a joint, and he's got like a
Oh, it's a
weird
weed
stuff.
album.
Kind of. Well, not really, but kind of.
You ever listen to music on weed?
Listen, I'm holding up a picture of the MIA album cover. It's the same thing.
Totally different.
Same, but different.
Totally different.
You're wild.
Completely different.
Okay, anyways, we don't know what we're going to pick. But I have another question for you as we do our little topics after
it's
we've done an episode.
Okay.
I recently watched or rewatched Across the Universe, the
Great.
Beatles
Great movie.
jukebox musical.
I loved that when it came out. I haven't seen it in like 15 years.
It's still good, but
It
the
holds-
story doesn't matter.
No.
You know what
But
part?
the covers are so good.
You know what part drives me crazy when you watch it? I've seen that movie enhanced several times on multiple things. Anyway,
Cool.
the part
Weird flex.
the
but sure.
part where it's because I've noticed like weird small things in that stupid movie. The part where he takes the buttered bread. Okay, have you ever noticed
What?
that he
What
just?
do you mean he takes the buttered bread? What? I need more context.
There's a part where he's leaving, and it's I can't remember what song it is.
A Day in the Life.
Maybe
No, I don't even think they cover that in the movie.
the guy grabs some buttered bread from home and takes off. But all he does is he takes like a whole pat of butter and just puts it squarely on the toast. He doesn't spread it around.
It's a very American thing.
It drives me nuts
It's like a
every time I
commercial where
watch
it's
it.
like
Like,
I
what
don't
do you spread the butter around?
The best part of waking up.
You don't just like smush the bread in half and just kind of rub it
Roll
together?
it into a ball. Somebody
Here's
ordered
my
a
question
pizza
is-
ball.
What's the last music movie that you've watched? We talked about doing this as a topic, but I
Rocket
don't want to watch
Man.
three movies.
I think I watched Rocket Man.
Oh, how was that? I've never seen it.
It's okay.
That's the Elton John one.
Yeah, and I've seen the Elvis one. It's okay.
I've never seen that one either.
That was last year.
Which one's better?
Rocket Man.
Interesting. Plouffe, what about you?
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of music movies, even though I like music videos. Like, I've seen Across the Universe. Rocky Horror Picture Show is more of just a musical,
It is a musical.
even though it kind of goes with like,
It literally is.
yeah.
That's why Sweeney Todd is my favorite
Oh, that's a good
musical
one.
slash movie.
I
It's
like
funny.
it.
It's
Yeah.
just a movie. They made it into a play after. I'm pretty sure, which is crazy to me.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought Sweeney Todd,
Jimmy, pull
Barber,
that up. He's a Disney.
Demon
No,
Barber
no,
of
that's
Fleet
a-
Street was a musical.
I thought it was a movie
or
then turned
it was
into a musical.
movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my
Okay.
favorite.
Little Shop of
my favorite
Horrors.
things.
Oh, Little Shop of Horrors is great. Little Shop of Horrors. Bop, shoo, bop. Never stop the terror.
Sure.
So good.
So we got to listen to more of those, I guess, because like, is there a famous Rolling Stones one or the Who?
Pinball Wizard.
This is Tommy.
Yeah, stop
Tommy
it.
was a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You know what my favorite is? Walk Hard.
Walk
Dewey
Hard.
Cox.
That doesn't count, but that is a great movie. The wrong son died.
Dude, you cut me in
The
half.
wrong son died.
I'm cut in half.
Don't do this. You won't get addicted. It makes you feel amazing. You don't want none of this.
School of Rock was good.
School of Rock is great.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is a great
School of
movie.
Rock
Pop Star never stop. Never
almost,
stopping.
Yeah.
almost famous.
I had to
You're
be.
just saying movies that have music in it.
I
That is a-
googled. I straight up googled like popular music movies. So I'm like,
that
I don't even
movie.
remember what I've seen, to be honest.
The movie's about music.
Pop Star Never Stop, Never Stopping is probably my number one though. That movie's so good.
The movie about Ray Charles is pretty good, and the Johnny Cash movie is pretty good.
Oh,
Walk
Walk
the
the Line.
Line.
That is a great movie.
It's like Walk Hard,
I watched
but
that
it's Walk
too
the Line.
young, where I'm like, I don't understand the brevity or the importance of some of the stuff, the impact.
Oh, maybe
Very
I'll
good.
pick a Johnny Cash album because his covers are really good.
They are.
Like that Nine Inch Nails one he covers, Hurt.
Yeah.
No, I mean the album covers. But yes,
Oh.
yeah, his cover of Nine Inch Nails is also pretty good.
Good song.
Anyway,
Yeah, he covered Hurt.
I know.
we'll see
Oh.
you guys next
God.
week.
I thought you were gonna do one of those things where people are like, "No, he invented it."
Bye.
Bye.